Hey, welcome back to Martin Makes It. It's been about a year since my last video, and I'm going to be doing a Gunpla this time. I have a full-time job and a toddler that eats up most of my free time, but I did manage to get some time here and there to put this video together. I decided I would put together a Gundam model because I can do that while I'm sitting around in the living room instead of my office or workspace. There aren't any chemicals or glues for my son to steal and terrorize me with. And it isn't a big deal if they get bumped or nudged. My wife was at the old Hobby Lobby and got me a white Zaku Gundam kit. I looked up the anime that featured it, and it turns out that Gundam got his whole head cut clean off in a battle. So I got his opponent in that battle and decided to make a diorama. I used Translate on my phone to read back the story of the Gundam in the manual, and it was a nice summary of the anime. There's this guy Keith that was in the Zaku mobile suit, which was being used as an opposing force training exercise. And here's the moment in the anime where the Zaku got his head chopped off. Cool. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that have put together Gundams on camera and done the whole quick edits and clicky-clacky stuff, and I was going to do some of that, but I found that the others have just done it way better than I could do right now, and there's no need for me to jump on that train. And so, after I got them both completely assembled, I took them back apart again. I really can't stand the look of bare plastic, so I ended up painting them. Doing a little bit of panel lining. And so here's where we sort of went off the rails. I wanted to put LEDs in the heads of both Gundams, and I also wanted the sword to be a light up LED. But plain LEDs are boring. Addressable LEDs are pretty cool. So I designed a circuit board for the smallest addressable LED I could find, and got the PCB made by JL PCB. They are not a sponsor, but they were super helpful with all my questions. I got a microscope lens for my camera so I could see what I was actually working on, because things are just so tiny. And if you take a look at this picture in here, you can see the LED and the capacitor next to a ballpoint pen and a micro SD card. It's tiny. Well, hey, looks like they work. That's great. And you know, in this video, it's only like 20 to 30 seconds, but it took me a solid week to get those things installed correctly. And there's the addressable LED in the Zaku's head. Anyway, so I started drilling holes and going in there and pulling the wires through the Gundam. I was wondering how I was going to be able to support the head, but it just turns out that the wires that are connected to the LED would support the head just as well on its own. Painting the wires gunmetal. And just adding a little black there to indicate charring under the neck. And so I put a LED in the Dom Tropen's head as well. And spoiler alert, it ended up breaking, and so his eye does not light up at the end of this video. So prepare yourself for disappointment. And here I'm setting up his heat saber. Just threading all the wires through the Dom Tropen. I don't even really know how to say that, but it's a thing. So I started sizing out how big I wanted the diorama to be. You know, looking at it now, I think I might have gone too big, but you know, that's okay. And I got the basic shapes down right, and started to try to glue everything together, but this Loctite just a solid mass of goo and didn't work. Thanks, Loctite. But so then, yeah, I just started, cutting. Just cut the foam with the knife that I had, and just cuts here, and making some channels, some grooves, and all the other creators out there, they make it look so easy like that. They just do a little cut here, there, and then all of a sudden it looks like a majestic Midwestern, mountain scene or something. But yeah, I guess I don't have the experience to make it look good. And I mixed up some Mod Podge plaster and water. And another thing the YouTubers don't tell you is that what ratios you should mix it at. And I mixed it wrong, so it came out sort of like frosting. But with YouTube magic, I was able to sand it all down and start putting sand on it. I had applied a primer layer and a zenithal highlight, and then remembered that I needed to add the sand and the rocks. So I added the sand and the rocks, as you just saw, using some watered down glue, and there we go. I bought a cheap set of oil paints on Amazon for about $9 to start making some oil washes to make the rocks pop. And I drilled some holes where the wires are going to go through. And you know what? I really don't know what I'm doing with the oil washes. Like, I don't know how to make it look good, how to make it look realistic. So I just kind of just went with it. And here I'm gluing down the Gundam to the base. And applying, just some more grays and blues just to, And that was it. Check out the final product. Pretty cool. Thanks for checking out my video. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe.